I'm gonna be completely honest with you all. I kind of forgot how good Guardians of the Galaxy was. I mean, obviously, I love these movies, but when I normally think of my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, these ones don't really come to mind. Mostly because they aren't standard MCU movies, they're James Gunn movies, and nothing matches that description better than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Right off the bat, very emotional movie in all the right ways. This movie will have you crying as much as you will be laughing. This is a great example of a dramedy because the drama wouldn't be as good without its comedy and vice versa. Rocket Raccoon's backstory wouldn't be as sad here if he was a sad character in the previous films. He was serious at times, but to me he'd served more of a comic relief alongside Drax. So to see him get such a dramatic and emotional arc in this film was obviously the highlight. But that's not to say the rest wasn't good. I think Nebula was a standout character for me. Mantis and Drax were their fun, charming selves with very satisfying conclusions to their characters. Groot was as fun as he'd been since 2014. Quill was really good and had a nice character arc with Gamora, who is quite different in this film than she was in the last two for obvious reasons. Gamora coming back in Endgame was definitely a curveball for Gunn, but I think he handled it well. I would have rathered it going down a little bit differently, but there's nothing that really could have been done about that. The High Revolutionary was pretty good, but I think he was a little too over the top for my taste. The soundtrack slaps and the action was fantastic, but I love how this movie ends. It all wraps up perfectly, and I love movies that peak towards their conclusion rather than earlier on. Although I will say that the beginning of this movie did take a bit to get going. I mean, the movie was pretty long, so it didn't affect that much, but still, it could have been a little faster. Adam Warlock was a surprise standout for me, not for any dramatic or impactful reason, I just thought he was hilarious. Along with most of the movie, although I would say some jokes didn't land, mostly because of editing, which was strange sometimes. Some dramatic moments were cut short, while other comedic moments took too long to cut. It's a strange little thing that's not too noticeable at first, but it does get more and more noticeable throughout the film. And yes, I do think this movie is quite disturbing, especially to animal lovers, so do with that info what you wish. Overall, loved this movie, and hopefully more MCU projects will follow in its footsteps. 9 out of 10.